Okay, welcome to our Stare at Shannon Devido interview. I am going to mute everybody right now. All right, and then I'm going to unmute Shannon, which is, okay. Hi, Shannon.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to start today's event by just asking you a couple of questions. So I guess you do a series of web stuff, and it's called Share It Shannon. Is it a web series? Would you call it a web series? I don't know what you define it as.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I feel like there's not enough for it to be a series, but that's what I call it because it seems like the most concise way of explaining it.
So, and did you start this when you were still a student, or did you start it after you were done with school, or like a little bit about how that all began and yeah.
No, I started it 2 years ago, and I haven't been a student for quite some time because I'm old. I started it because I was really bored one day and thought it would be really funny if my friend filmed me going through drive-thrus, and so I called him up and was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he was like, "Nothing." I was like, "All right, let's go do this thing." And he was like, "All right, I'm bored." So we did, and then I was like, "Hey, I have more ideas. You gonna be bored next weekend?" He was like, "Probably." So then, yeah, we kept doing it, and since then, like I've had different people who film it, and I got a producer, and so we hang out now. It's basically just a different friend who had more time on his hands. Yeah, that's pretty much how it came about.
And so I guess when you look at everything that you do, so you do some improv, you do some acting, and then you do comedy, you do kind of a lot of different, you write, you kind of have a lot of different things that you do, I imagine, right? And
I do.
So what would you say is your full-time job at the moment? Like, what would you put in as your full-time position?
I would say actor. That's probably that's the one I make the most money from.
Okay. And we'll talk a little bit more about your new thing with Amy Poehler's new production.
Yeah, she produced it, but she's not really like that hands-on with it. It's more of Billy Eichner and Julie Klausner's new show.
Well, that's cool. We'll talk about that. I want to definitely kind of like leave that as our last bit.
Okay.
So I basically, with Stare at Shannon, what was your favorite and least favorite Stare at Shannon to make?
Oh man, I don't know what my favorite would be. I think there a bunch for a bunch of different reasons. I mean, I love doing the Back to the Future one because I've always wanted to ride in a DeLorean since I was like 2. Because that's when that came out, right? And then I love doing the supermarket one because I just kept getting away with more and more things and got to eat everything I wanted. And I don't know. The Comic-Con one was really hard because we had to go back 2 times, and then the audio still didn't work. So then I had to bribe my friends to like pretend to be superheroes and like voice over these people and like try to sync up with it. And it just turned out to be such a pain in my rear end. So I'm gonna say that one was my least favorite to do, even though in concept it was one of my favorites. But in reality, it turned out to be one of my least favorites.
Gotcha. I was trying to go through my favorites, and I honestly, I couldn't. I was like, I couldn't choose. I had too many to choose from. I feel like I put some up tonight, and I didn't know. Maybe we can share them towards the end. But I put some videos up just to, if anybody, I'm sure all of you guys are familiar with Shannon's work. So there's that. But I don't know. I thought for a while, I'm like, oh, I'll show one. But then I thought, well, if everybody's already seen it and we're just going to get to the nitty gritty, let's just get to the nitty gritty. So, okay. I have another question, and then I'll look for the chat. If anybody has questions, please type them in the chat. Thank you very much. How do you avoid inspiration porn star status? So you're familiar with inspiration porn. So
I am.
how do you avoid being a porn star?
Oh my God, but I want to be one. No, I don't know. I don't think it's easy to avoid. I think that but I'm very careful with the projects that I choose, and I do a lot of my own work, or produce a lot of my own work. So I feel like it's more under my control than it could be. But I feel like people who also produce their own work tend to fall into that category. But I think my comedy just stays away from it, so it's easy to avoid for me. But it's gonna happen every now and then. I feel like it's unavoidable, which sucks, but I don't know. I try to be careful with what I choose, I guess, is my answer.
Yeah. Now, I remember that there was the fast food episode where you went and ordered fast food, which I have done that before. I don't know how many people in this group have done that, but that's way fun to do.
Yeah, it's super fun.
So there was another fella that also recorded himself going to a fast food restaurant and got kind of viral with it. How did that make you feel?
He makes a lot more money than me, so really annoyed. I mean, whatever. Like, he's doing his thing. I feel like if that's the route that he wants to go and he wants to take the easy road, then that's his prerogative. I don't agree with it, but it's because I'm a really hard worker and I want to push boundaries. I don't want to just follow the easy path. Because sure, I mean, I could call Oprah tomorrow and be like, "Oh, I'm such an inspiration. Please put me on your show and make my dreams happen because I don't have much longer." Like, I could do that, but I don't want to. So I don't know. I mean, whatever. Do your thing, buddy.
Do you think he ripped it off straight from you? Like, I mean, because like,
No.
I did it years ago, right? I did it just because I was hungry.
Right.
I had no stardom ideas. I just was really hungry and I didn't have a car. So, do you think he actually like copied you? I mean, as I got the feeling that he might have.
I don't think he knows who the fuck I am, or has seen any of my stuff. I think it's just that, a lot of times, I mean, we've all done it, right? So I guess it's just one of those, like, one of those generic things that we've all done. So, and it's funny, like it's inherently funny. So, I mean, I'm going to be a little biased, and I thought my version was a tad funnier. But what
Good nods
else?
to the audience here. Nods are going, yes.
But whatever. I mean, I fully doubt that he ripped me off.
I'm going to open it up. Chris has a question for you. Go ahead. Chris?
Oh, am I muted? I don't know. Put me on the spot.
Well, you had a question in the chat box. Do you want me
I watched a couple of videos and I might have got them confused, but I saw you just going in the store and making your own sandwich. And then I think you were in the ice cream aisle, just eating ice cream to see what people would say.
Yep.
And I think there was another one where it said mayonnaise all over it and you were eating it.
Oh, yeah.
The Troy Polamalu video. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. That one's one of my favorites. I love that one.
Do you ask for permission or you just do it and hope that, beg for forgiveness and not ask for permission?
I never ask.
So
usually.
They'll just kick you out or they ignore you or they're okay with it? Like
the grocery store one was I guess it was like an experiment to see how much I could get away with. So asking would have defeated the purpose. But most of the time, no. I mean, it's like guerrilla filming, and most of the time, no one gives two craps because I'm not really doing anything that's annoying anyone.
You pay for it all at the end, right?
The grocery store one? Yeah, I did.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know if
that.
you've ever done this, but it's really something fun to try. I haven't tried it for attention, but I'll get hungry when I'm in the store, or my nose will start running, and I'll just open a Kleenex box and like grab a tissue and blow my nose or whatever. Like, and I pay for it. I mean, it's, you know, people do it, yeah. But I thought it was cool that you just sat there, and the guy, the African American gentleman that was in the aisle like jamming with you, like that was the best. That was so great.
That was Michael is the guy who films for me, and he still talks about that because it was one of those moments that like I was just in the aisle and I was looking at like I was just eating chips or whatever, and he came in and he was dancing, and I just started to dance along with him, and Michael happened to be filming at the time. And it was just like one of those happy accidents. And the dude had no clue that I was there. And then he finally like turned around and was like, oh shit. All right. And I was like, no, you're totally fine. And he was like, all right, cool.
Scripted. It went
yeah. No, it was like just a very, very happy accident. But Michael talks about it all the time. He's like, I don't know how we got so lucky with that. I was like, I don't either. It's so random.
And then I think you were following a guy one time during the Rocky episode. I saw like dun 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 dun. And
oh no, that was the Troy Polamalu thing. Yeah, I mean, on his bucket list, it's follow people around playing that Rocky song.
Yeah.
Those people, some of them I did ask if I could follow them. Okay. Some of them I didn't. But a couple of them I did because I was, because they were looking at me very strange.
You were buzzing a little bit? No.
I just didn't want to bug any, like they were working out. And I was like, well, all right. And one of them was my dad. So
you can't tell what's legit and what you've asked permission for. I would love to do that to somebody, but I would feel so embarrassed.
Most of the time I don't ask.
Okay.
Well, thanks for your question, Chris.
Yep. Thank you.
No problem. So I'm going to mute back again. So I wanted to know what able-bodied actor would play you in your Lifetime movie?
People tell me I remind them of Anna Kendrick, so I'm going to say her.
Oh, okay. That would totally make sense. I get that.
I don't see it, but I'm gonna accept it and move on.
Okay. All right. And so, and how, I know that I've heard that you're kind of involved in getting actors with disabilities more involved in the film and, the film industry, or, just out there in the media and all that stuff. Like, what is your take on a lot of that argument as far as a person with a disability playing, or a person who is able-bodied or, does not have a disability playing someone with a disability? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's super frustrating. I think that, it's hard because I think that I do get very frustrated with it. And I think that there's not enough effort to finding people with disabilities to play those parts. But at the same time, I do almost get it a little bit at times. And then that's a very controversial stance on it because I think that Dominic would kill me. But I'm not going to get a part over Julia Roberts. Like, it's just not going to happen. I don't have the pool that Julia Roberts has. So if you're going to be doing a normal heart, you're not going to pick me to do it. Now, do I think that smaller parts who are wheelchair users and they are put into that, like the kid from Glee, no one knew who he was before that show started. So they 100% could have picked someone with a disability to do that, and they 100% should have. So I feel like it's one of those things where you really need to assess the situation, but where you can, and then you should 100%. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense to me. I was thinking about the argument about the theory of everything when they were saying, well, a person a person with ALS should be, or a person with a disability should be playing Stephen Hawking's role. But then I thought, well, if a person with ALS as advanced as Stephen Hawking was playing Stephen Hawking, it would be kind of impossible to do. So they'd have to find somebody else with a different disability to play Stephen Hawking. And that's kind of defeating the purpose of, you know what I mean, of the accuracy of the disability. So it's kind of like I see, you know, how that, like, I don't know.
I mean, yes and no. I feel like in that situation, a person like with SMA, like, could have 100% played Stephen Hawking and like gotten the same concept. I think the problem with that movie is that they started when he was walking, and so it was very hard to take someone with a disability to play that part. Now, had the script, I mean, that script is just fucking terrible. So like, that's a whole different conversation on a whole different level.
Yeah.
So had they written that script differently and focused on the fact that he's kind of a jerk and like but he's really funny and like he's the smartest human on the face of the planet, and we focused on that part of it, then it would have been a much different movie and we could have 100% had a person with a disability playing him. And I feel like it would have had such a deeper authenticity to it because, you know, I mean, sure, Eddie Redmayne was fine, but like I don't think that he really can completely understand. Like, I mean, we don't, okay, here's the thing. All right, so we don't spend, I don't know if you guys do, but we don't spend like an entire day every morning waking up going, oh God, I'm disabled again. This is the worst thing to ever happen ever. And I feel like that's what the point of that movie was. So like, there's a different issue with that movie than just having him play Stephen Hawking.
No, it's deeper than that. I get what you're saying.
Does that make sense? I'm sorry. That was a tangent that I did not need to go on. I apologize.
I wanted to ask it, so I asked for it. So, okay, so TK, I think your 917, he's got a phone. He called in, I think. So he had a question, so I'm going to let him ask it. TK, is that you?
It is me, yes. I'm here.
I know your phone number just by looking at it.
Don't tell your boyfriend.
I won't.
Okay.
All right, so tell me.
We got a groovy thing going on. Okay.
Right.
But I could stare at Shannon and Emily now. Nice. No, I'm just wondering. Has there ever been any like pushback from people that were in your video that were like giving you a hard time and like made things go less than ideally?
No. Everyone's been super cool, and yeah. No, I've never had any problems.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for your question, TK. And then Maria has her question, so I'm gonna ask her now. All right. Any more follow-up, TK?
No, I was hoping that there'd be some crazy, wild, outrageous story about some person in the background that was like saying, "You can't use my image without my permission," and like ripping the camera out of your hand.
Well, here's a question: do you think that maybe you face less of that because of the disability? Because nobody really wants to go there with you, like they feel awkward in challenging you or being a jerk to you because there's that element.
Maybe, but that makes my life a whole lot easier. I don't know.
I'm gonna try to rob a bank with that in mind.
I'm gonna try. I think that I'm gonna add that to my list of things I'm gonna do. You know what? I don't know. I really don't know I don't know if that is the case or if I'm just not doing anything that's really offending anyone.
Right.
I think that it's probably a combo.
Yeah. There was a really great story by David Sedaris, who's one of my favorite writers. Are you familiar with David Sedaris?
Oh, David Sedaris is amazing.
Yeah, so he wrote this story about his experience with I don't know if it was really a true story, but he was with a woman that was, I guess, in college. He'd been in college, and she had a disability, and she was in a wheelchair, and he decided to go around and take advantage of people and circumstances because of her. And so they would go they'd basically just load up on all this like caviar and fancy stuff and they would steal, and I don't know, he took his father's watch once because he said that she wanted his watch, and it was a really great story. It was very funny. Anyway, it was all about getting away with stuff, and I just loved it. Maria, you're up next.
Hi, it's not really a question that I wanted to ask, but more of just a comment in that I saw this article posted today about sexism in the media, and I was referencing The Daily Show, and I think it also parallels the issues that we were talking about, ableism in the film industry. And I wanted to read this quote from it and just see if you had any thoughts, Shannon. So I don't know who they were interviewing, but the quote was, I don't think that there is a double standard at The Daily Show. I do think that by the time it gets to The Daily Show, it's already been through the horrible sexist double standard of the universe. You're not hiring someone right out of school. By the time they get to the candidates of The Daily Show, the herd has been thinned by larger societal factors. Of the greater talent pool of comedians, she said, all that's left are white men and Aziz Ansari. So she's basically saying that, while the sexism may not be the outright issue at hand, it's so systematic that by the time that people get to that stage in their careers and try to become those players in the media, it's all that's left are white men and Aziz Ansari. So I don't know. Do you have any comments on that?
One, Aziz Ansari is my hero. Two, I mean, I think I see where she's coming from. I feel like there's so many different factors that lead into why white males seem to prevail in the late night talk show area. The Daily Show is an interesting one because I feel like that's such a terrible example. I mean, I get like where she's coming from, and I agree. I feel like they should have hired a woman for his replacement. But I feel like they are so inclusive in how they hire. So I feel like I don't know, she's bordering on a little bit iffy in that realm, but I get what she's saying, and I think it's such a deeper embedded issue in all of our brains, whether we realize it or not. And the people who are making those decisions are also white males. And so it's so deeply embedded in their psyche that even though they don't on the surface realize that they're being sexist or racist or any of those things, it's happening because that's the reality of their psyche. So I don't know. I feel like there's much more going on societally than just the hiring of or non-hiring of women. I feel like it's so embedded in our society of that's who we're looking for when we turn to late night, and we just don't realize it.
Do you see a parallel between that and your experience in trying to, break into the industry as a woman with a disability?
Yeah, I get both, so that's super fun. I mean, it's the same thing as like we talk about this all the time, in that people see us and they're scared and they don't know what to do. And if you put a person in a wheelchair on television in a prominent thing, people are afraid that the society is going to react the way that the people making decisions react a lot of the time. So I face it all of the time, especially because I'm also a woman. So it's like I get that double standard. But I think it's I think that the way that that's going to change is to just keep putting out your own thing and your own work and having people see it and people like it. And it's going to change from the ground up. It's never going to change from the top down. If that sort of answers your question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks. That was really, really, really smart. And I don't know. Wow, I feel really dumb.
You're totally not. No,
that was amazing. That was like the best comment ever. Yeah, I'm gonna go read now.
You're gonna go. Well, you're part of this. It's kind of neat because I still think we're really intelligent people, and I think more than most. I do. I'm very snobby. So, all right. So I'm going to unlock.
Well, sure.
Corrine now. She had the next question. All right, there you go, Corine.
Where are you?
Oh,
You're on
I'm
page
gonna
3.
ask you a non-smart question. Something like.
Oh, thank God! Please be about food.
Actually, it is.
What? Shut up! That's amazing. All right.
If you were gonna host a dinner party with your favorite comedians or non-comedians, who would be there and why?
Oh man. All right. How many people can I pick?
Your choice.
Holy crap. Okay.
How about if you can fit in your house or in your dining area right now where you live?
Oh Christ. There's a lot of people. I have a big house. Okay. Well, I would definitely pick Jon Stewart. Speaking of the Daily Show. He is my hero. Jon Stewart and Louis Black. 100%. I would probably pick I'd probably pick my friend Jenny, because I would need her to be there to witness me being near Jon Stewart and Louis Black. I want the Beatles to be playing. Can they be dead?
Sure.
Okay,
Then
them.
back.
James McAvoy, because I would like to make out with him. I don't know how many women. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler.
Okay.
100%. And just have everyone there.
Can I ask you a follow-up question?
Yes, please do. I would just name people all night. So
no,
please.
You mentioned Tina Fey, and I just read Bossy Pants. I know I'm a little late to the game, but I was a little disappointed. I felt like I liked it, but I didn't feel like I think she just scratched the surface of things, and I'm wondering if that was her way of protecting herself and others. Do you think the same? Would you have gone deeper?
No, I would not have. Because I feel like most comedians are very protective of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the time. I feel like I was just explaining this to someone else, is that I'm much better when I have relationships with people that I just do bits with all the time. And like my improv friends we're not like crazy close, but I love them because we are just ridiculous and fun, and there's like nothing deeper or scary about it. Like, not to get super into my personal life, but so I was in a relationship and it ended badly, and I feel like that was like the only time I really kind of ever let someone in, and I hated it. It was terrible. And so I feel like that happens a lot to comedians, in that and actors, we like to keep stuff, well, not actors maybe as much, but comedians definitely, we kind of have a block, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks.
So
yeah, thank you.
So we kind of talked about minority status. You're basically a double minority.
Yeah.
Yay. And Chris was asking about like the word minority and the people with disabilities now and have been, I guess, like true minorities. Do you agree? He said he's not dismissing the struggles of African Americans or Hispanic people or anyone else, but as minorities. But do you consider like us to be like in worse shape than some of the other minorities in this country at this time? That is a very deep question, Chris. And maybe I'll unmute you, but I'm not unmuting you on purpose. I just want to be able to like kind of put it out there and clarify it. Did I ask that right, Chris?
Oh, I'm in trouble.
No.
I guess all I see is that when you go into job interviews, people see your wheelchair first rather than yourself. And this day and age, we've made a lot of progress on gay rights and minorities and even put me on the spot, but like the transgendered community and stuff. And I just feel like perhaps the disabled, just like you can't get, or you have trouble getting a major role playing a disabled person instead of pretending to be a disabled person in a JCPenney's ad. I see us as kind of the forgotten minority that haven't quite made it yet. And here we are 25 years past the ADA, and we've made a lot of progress, but I'm not sure we've made a lot of progress in employment and I don't know, acceptance, and I don't know if that's fair to say, but we made progress, but I think we have a lot of work to do.
I guess, can I help Trent? I guess, can I add something more to that question? I think that would help maybe the answer.
Of course, yeah, and then tell me if I'm wrong.
All right, so I guess since we do have so much work to do in society, I guess, Shannon, do you feel that you have some responsibility to the disabled community as a representative, and like how do you plan, I guess, what is your goal as far as like getting into this industry and becoming successful? Like what is your goal? What would you want to contribute to like that whole legacy? And you're muted. Hold on. I don't know how you got muted. Okay, I really didn't.
No, it's fine. It'd probably be better to have me muted for this question. No. What do I? Okay, I feel like this is a multi-layer question. So, do we have? Yes, we have work to do. But I don't. I think that it's that I don't think we're forgotten. I just think when you talk about diversity, we're not really in that spectrum, and I'm not really sure why. And that's a question for the disability advocates. What do I want? I mean, I feel like, yes, I mean, there is some level of me that knows I am a representation of the disability community. I don't make it a point to be an activist. I feel like there are much smarter and much more dedicated folks to that cause than I am. Not that I have anything, not like I'm like, no, disabled people are terrible. But I don't actively seek it out because I don't like confrontation. So I think that what my goal is to do is to just do really good work and to be a representative in the work that I do. So I want to make a difference in that you get to see someone who is fun and who's just a normal, I use the word normal very loosely, person who happens to have a disability in the entertainment industry versus being like, played a mentally challenged rape victim on SVU. And that was weird. But I feel like instead of playing these characters who are sick and sad and kind of pathetic, I want to show that we have multi-levels, that we are very smart, and that we can be funny, and we can be beautiful, and we can be all of these things. And I hope to show that through my work, rather than like holding a picket sign and saying like, we're here and pay attention or I'll run you over. I don't know. That's never been me.
Yeah. Are you now, I thought you answered that really well, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Wow, you keep moving. Like their little box goes like over there and then it goes over there. And so I keep looking in different directions. So I was going to ask you about your personal attendant care. Because at the end of the day, you're dealing with a lot of us are dealing with, and so I'm very curious about how you manage that schedule and just how you work that out. Like, do you, I imagine you're traveling a lot. Do you go to the New York City a lot, or?
I do.
Okay.
I manage that schedule very terribly. I can hold my pee like no one's business, guys.
Really?
It's a skill. It's on my resume.
Can I ask what's the longest you've gone?
Like 12 hours, I guess, maybe longer.
How old are you?
33.
Ooh, very nice.
Thank you.
Was that a long time ago that you held it 12 hours? Because I used to go 12 hours. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm very good at asking for help. Like, I have a lot of friends in a lot of different places, so that's very helpful. So like when I'm in New York, my best friend lives there actually. But Catherine Landis helped me out significantly the other day because I had to do a show in New York and I had rehearsals for 9 hours, and I it's very far from my house because I live in Philly, and so she helped me hire one of her aides to come over during the day to help me out. But I don't really have like aides that travel with me, which is a problem I really need to seek out. But I'm also, I don't know if you guys have this issue. I'm sure we all do, but I hate when people are around me all the time. It's actually my worst nightmare. So my problem is that I often will have an aide come for like 15 minutes and put me on the bathroom, and then I'll make them leave because I don't want them around. And so I don't really have aides that are here long term so that I can have them go with me places. So I need to manage my care a lot better. I am freaking terrible at it.
Have you had to ask strangers to help you? I mean, have you ever gotten into that situation?
Yes. I was on set once, and my aide didn't show up, and so they weren't necessarily strangers. I mean, we had just hung out for like 5 hours. But yeah, I definitely have.
I imagine that could be kind of interesting. Do you care who helps you? Is it Matt? Do you care if it's a man or a woman, or are you just?
How bad do I have to pee?
Yeah, right.
I mean, I would prefer it to be a woman. But it also, again, depends on how hot he is. Let's do this. Yeah, I don't really care. As long as they're nice.
Do you find that this part of the industry is understanding about your attendant care, or do you think that they're impatient about it? Do you think that they're like, do they accommodate pretty easily and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've never had a problem. Like if I say I have to bring someone on set, they're usually really cool about it, and I have to take breaks at different times because it's when someone can come to help me or whatever. I've never had an issue.
Gotcha. And do you use like a program in Pennsylvania, or do you pay out of pocket, or like how do you?
Yeah, I get it through the state. So I have like 10 hours a day, I guess.
Oh, that's pretty good, actually.
It is really good. I really should use them more efficiently. I pay people a lot of money to not be here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think if I ever move, I will definitely I will change the way that I do things. I think right now they'll come for like an hour and I'll pay them for 3 because I legitimately want them to be on. But but I set that precedent, so like it won't ever change until I move.
Right. So you own your own home and no.
Oh man, I'm the worst. I live with my family because I'm broke. And they help me, which is great, but I hate it. Yeah, I don't make enough money to move out yet.
Yeah. So is your goal to move to New York City eventually, or?
Yeah, I'd like to move to New York.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Thanks.
So, yeah. So, all right. Well, does anybody have any more questions? I can open up the floor if you like. I'm just going to open up the floor. I'm just going to unmute everybody. Let everybody just say what they want. The world is just ask a question. Let's hear from Greg or Max or Eric or Laura. Anybody have any questions?
Shannon, this is Greg.
Hi, Greg.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. I was just, usually I like to jump in and be involved, but listening to you and thinking what a great co-host you would be on a radio show.
Oh, thank you. I would like to be a co-host because I don't want to be the main host. I want to just have funny jabs.
Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah. Do you have a radio show?
Well, I had a syndicated show for 15 years, but now I have a podcast. So we'll talk
podcasts are awesome.
Yeah, we'll talk offline about it. Yeah.
All right. You have an awesome voice, so I can see how that would be a really fun podcast to listen to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever done any radio before?
No. I've done.
Okay. You were out of the celebrity.
Well, I've done interviews, but I've never hosted like a show.
Right. Okay.
Besides my web series.
Is there anything that you want to try as far as your craft goes that you haven't really had a chance to do yet?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Like a genre or like a certain type of role?
Have you ever thought about doing like cartoon voices?
Yes, because I sound like a cartoon, is that what you're saying? Yes, I want to play a squirrel. I've said that for many years. Yeah. I mean,
voice is awesome.
Ice Age number 3.
I'll be any animal you want. Ice Age 3, yes. I'll be
Or I don't know what's up to.
I think it's 14 now, so I'm gonna be in Ice Age 14.
Awesome.
Yeah, I have thought about it. That's a very, very hard industry to get into.
Have you thought of going over to the West Coast? Have you thought about moving to California versus New York City?
I did.
And it's kind of like, it's kind of like the rappers, right? There's like the West Coast people and then the East Coast people and and then of course there's the dirty South, but there's no one who's acting down here really except for like Matthew McConaughey. But like,
wow,
that's really all there is going on.
Atlanta has a very
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I have thought about moving. I tried to move to California, and then I decided not to. I don't even know why.
You like snow too much with your wheelchair.
I did what?
You like snow too much in your wheelchair.
Oh yeah, go to hell. No, I don't. I think it's Don't go to hell. I'm sorry, that was very rude. I hate snow. It's my worst nightmare.
No, I don't know how you do it.
No, you know what? I like New York, but I'm a much more New York personality. I'm very fast paced. I think California is a little bit slow for me, which is great. And people who live there are wonderful, and I love visiting. But I can't stand the traffic. It made me want to kill someone.
Well, and but all the good squirrel roles are probably out in LA. So I don't
Probably. So, when they can just fly me out to do a squirrel, and then I'll just come home.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what genre would you want to do? What would if you could think of what you would want to act?
That I haven't done, or what I would want to do like forever?
That you haven't done.
Have
you done horror?
No.
That's
Well, you kind of have on SVU being a.
That was pretty horrible.
Yeah.
We would all be the first ones to die in any horror movie.
Oh, 100%. We'd go before the black guy in a heartbeat. I would love to do like a mummy movie, or like not a mummy, like a zombie movie, because I always have this question that like I've posed. All right, I've posed this to so many people who like get the whole zombie culture. Like, okay, so when you become a zombie, your body is no longer controlled by your brain, so like it's just involuntary movement. So like, can we walk if we're zombies? Like, this is a serious question that I've asked so many people, and I've yet to get a straight answer. Different people give me different answers, and I just want to know. And I feel like if I was on The Walking Dead, someone would be able to answer a straight question for me. Well, I would like to be on that show.
You'd have to go to a zombie doctor or a zombie scientist, and you get an answer. And half of the people that are dealing with us don't even know how to give us answers about our non-zombie situation. So how do you even know about our zombie situation? Yeah.
I feel like someone would, though, because zombies are made up, and I feel like there are made up things. There are made up rules, and I just don't know what they are. And I've thought about this so much. It's like almost an excessive amount of time I have thought about this, and I've asked so many people. And so to answer your question, I would like to do The Walking Dead or something like that, just so I can get a freaking straight answer on this question that I've had for so many years.
We'll just be the Crawling Dead, not the Walking Dead.
Right.
Look, if maybe that is the case. Like, someone said that to me. They were like, well, you probably crawl. I'm like, okay.
You wouldn't have the mental capacity. You wouldn't have the mental capacity to do your joystick.
Well, no. I definitely want to be able to use my wheelchair, because they're right. That's out of the question.
Yeah.
I get that. I realize that part. That far I've gotten.
You would need a PA who was also a zombie.
Well, right. See, this is like oh god damn it! I have so many questions.
Do zombies have to go to the bathroom?
No.
Are you sure?
No, they don't care.
No, because there's nothing going through them.
But don't they eat brains?
There is.
Well, yeah, they eat brains, but then it just goes. I believe it just like gets. I have so many questions. Seriously, guys, this is like a whole thing for me.
Yeah, it's deep, really. It's deep. Now, this Halloween, I spent some time watching movies of.
This will be session number 2.
I watched Misery on Halloween, and then.
Isn't that a great movie?
Huh?
That's a great movie.
Yes, I watched Misery, and then I watched another movie. What was it? The Monkey Shines.
That's a great one too.
In the chair that gets killed by the monkey, or the monkey tries to kill him. His assistant monkey tries to kill him. That was pretty good. But anyway, but it was not as good as Misery. Do you feel for these movies, like when you watch these movies? Have you seen Misery?
No.
Oh my god.
I don't know that zombie though. It's just a crazy woman.
I don't like horror films though.
Oh, you don't? You're not a horror fan?
No.
Yeah.
I am a weak person, and I watch a lot of Disney movies, and a lot of comedies. I don't know. I'm not a big horror fan. I get that people are, and that it's a very wonderful genre. It's just not for me.
Are you have you ever been asked to do something for a role that you physically just couldn't do, but you really wanted to be like like when you were playing the mentally disabled rape victim? Did they want you to go farther in certain areas, or like was there anything that
No, they wanted me to just be more retarded. They just wanted me to sit there. I wasn't allowed to speak, so I don't know. That was the worst. People don't really cast me in stuff that I can't do, which sucks.
Right. Were you a poster child for
Yes,
MDA?
I was.
Would
I
you
100%
consider that
was.
your first? Would you consider that your first like on-camera experience?
It was. It was terrible, and I hated it so much. I don't know why I still wanted to become an actor after that experience, because this is not a joke. This is why I don't want to be a reality show participant in any way, shape, or form ever in my life ever. Because of that experience, cameras like followed me around, right? And because they had to do like a piece on you when you go to Vegas, and I hid from the cameras.
Wait,
I did.
Wait, hold on a second. You got to Vegas?
Well, yeah, I had to be on the telephone.
You were the national poster child? You were like...
Oh, no. I just had to go.
Oh,
and, like, they talked about us.
Oh, okay.
And, they talked about me and, like, my family, and they showed this freaking video.
Okay.
And so, anyway, like, they had to follow me around. And this is not a joke, I hid from the cameras. I went to a baseball, like, field near my house, and I sat under the bleachers hiding from the cameras so that they couldn't follow me around anymore. I was like 12, but like it was just the worst. And I would like run away from them. Like they would like be asking me questions, and I would just like zoom away like as fast as possible just so that they couldn't talk to me. I don't know why I am an actor. Like I truly, really don't. Because I will never forget that experience in my entire life.
What was the point when you changed? Like, what was the thing that you did that made you change over?
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, even then, I love performing. I just hate that aspect of it. Like, in complete and utter honesty, this was actually brought up to me the other day. Like, they wanted me to do a reality show, and I point blank said to them, that legitimately is my worst nightmare. It goes needles, reality show, death. Like, those are my biggest fears in order. And I don't even know what it is. I guess it's like I'd rather be a character than myself, probably. And so, yeah. So I think I want to be like an actor, and not myself. So I don't know. But I will never forget that experience. It was the weirdest.
What reality show did they ask you to do?
About my life. They wanted me to be a reality show, and I was like, nope.
Oh.
No. Nope.
But you see a lot of singers that are very, very shy, and then when they get on stage, they're incredibly talented, and it's like everything goes away. So I guess maybe that's analogous to your.
I feel that way, yeah.
Years,
TK? Do you have anything to say?
Yeah. I'm curious what you think about NDA and other groups that promote the cure.
What do I feel about them?
Yeah.
They do a lot of good, right? I hate the telethon, but I mean, them as an organization.
What if they wanted you to come now that you're, getting more recognition and stuff, what if they asked you to be on the telethon with like Darius Rucker and all, like, what if MDA just called you up and just said like, hey, we have a bunch of like washed up stars from like 5-10 years ago. We'd really like you to be on there with them. How would you do it?
Do I get to sing a Hootie and the Blowfish song?
Well, I mean, possibly. I mean, but they'll probably
say Hootie.
But you'll probably have to he'll have to look at you in a sad kind of way and like get on his knee and wrap his arm around him. And you have to,
I
like,
feel like I would have to look at him in a sad, pathetic way.
well, no, it wouldn't work that way on the MDA telethon, right?
I know. No, you know what? I would. Is it still a free trip to Vegas?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So here's my criterion. If I get a free trip to Vegas and I get to sing a Hootie and the Blowfish song with Hootie, then I'll go.
Wait, but does he have to? But he has to sit, like, get on his knee and put his arm around you, and it has to be a duet.
Yeah. As long as I can make faces at him the whole time, like no one's preventing me from doing that.
What if
Then
it was
yes.
Jerry Lewis that you had to sing with? I mean, I know he's not part of it anymore.
Jerry Lewis?
But
Oh no.
What if you had to sing the final song with him?
No, because that
You'll
song
never-
is terrible.
You'll
Right?
never walk alone.
We'll never.
I hate
Oh my
I
gosh.
hate that musical so much. I had to actually sing that for a funeral once. So you're welcome, everyone.
Oh.
That's a real. Wait, that's a song. Wait, what musical is that from?
It's from Carousel.
Really?
Yep.
God, I thought it was just something he made up.
No, Rodgers and Hammerstein made that up for you, so you're welcome.
Wow. Wow.
They also brought you the tunes of Oklahoma, so fuck them.
I thought that was like the most insensitive song choice ever.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. Like you had to pick a song that said the word walk in it. Like, what a jerk.
Never walk alone.
Like, it literally is in the song title, you moron. Like,
You'll never walk
any other song. Literally any other song. Like, maybe walk, any, oh God, what's the other
Uh-oh, you're cutting
good
out.
one?
Yeah, you're cutting out.
Yeah, no, you got back.
All right, anyway, it's literally in the title. Like, any other song, dude.
So you
So
got into a
stupid.
lot of inaccessible stages. Like,
Oh, yeah.
find that so what do you do with that situation? Did you ever figure out that one where did you put a wheelchair on the bottom part of the stage and just like get carried into it, or how did you?
You had to go to the second floor, right? On one of them?
Yeah, recently I had to go in a basement.
Oh my goodness.
I had to hire, not even hire. I bribed like 7 people to carry my wheelchair down. Yeah, that was pretty terrible.
I've been there, yeah.
I think I just try not to perform places that I can't get into. And it definitely sucks because it does limit where I can perform.
What was a role that you felt that you tried out for and you really felt like pretty confident that you were going to get it and you got rejected, and like what was one that you were really sad about, like something that you like, I don't know, like a kind of a, I don't mean to rehash downer moments, but was there something that you like?
Thanks, Emily. This has been really fun. I'm really glad to be here, and all of my fears and terribleness has come back. Yeah, no, recently I tried out for something that I thought I was going to get because I had a really good audition, which is rare for me. I hate auditioning. Man, I hate a lot of things. I'm so sorry, everyone. I auditioned for this pilot, and you had to be an improviser, and you had to be funny, and so I had a great audition, and they were looking for diversity, and I was like, oh yeah, I totally got this. This is totally me. And then I didn't get it, and that was kind of a bummer, because like I think when they say diversity, that like we talked about this earlier, but they're looking for ethnicity diversity, not necessarily someone who is disabled. And I think that a lot of people don't think outside that box, and it sucks because I totally could have done that part really well. So that was kind of a bummer.
Gotcha. So tell us about the Amy Poehler produced thing. Or I know it's not her, but whatever. It sticks out in a lot of headlines.
They put her name in it just because. Yeah, it's this new show that's going to be on Hulu. It's called Difficult People. and it's have you ever seen Billy on the Street?
I don't think I have.
Okay, one, look it up. It's hilarious.
Okay.
But that guy, his name's Billy Eichner. It's his show, and yeah, and I play this weird storyteller, and I have to talk about. I have to tell this fake story on stage where I'm like, she was molested by her uncle. But it's really funny and tons of humor. And yeah, I got to like my scene. The two leads are talking over top of me, and so I got to like improvise while they were talking, which was crazy fun. And some of the weirdest crap came out of my mouth. A lot of weird 80s references.
Are you a regular on the show, or is it just like a one?
No, I'm just on one episode.
Okay.
I'm on the 5th episode.
Ooh, 5th episode. And when does it start, or when will it be aired?
I believe it starts in the summer.
Okay. And what else is on your plate? What else is coming up?
I'm doing a lot of improv in Philly, so come on out. I'm hoping. I don't know. But I don't know what else I can talk about.
Oh, okay. Are you? If
Let's
you
talk
are,
about-
Stuff is coming up.
Talk about the YouTube series. I love it.
yeah,
Thank you. Yeah, I am doing. I'm doing another series with my friend right now where I'm a crazy mad scientist. So look
How
for
do you
that.
come up with ideas? That's a good question, though. Is where are you coming up with your Rocky Balboa idea?
My brain.
Yeah. Okay, your brain. You have a brain? That's
No.
that's awesome.
When do you brainstorm? Do you brainstorm like in the mornings, at night, in the shower? Like I always come up with wackadoodle stuff in the shower.
A lot of stuff happens in the shower. The half of it I can't talk about. And half of it is just ideas. I do come up with a lot there. Actually, it's weird. I don't know, random times. Or something will strike me like when I'm just like out and about.
You think it's funny, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. I also brainstorm with the guy that I film with. He and I will have brainstorming sessions. We have one tomorrow to come up with some new stuff. So, yeah, depends.
That's good. You've been very open to my weird ideas, so I like that. You're very friendly like that.
I love people and ideas, so I'm always up for trying anything.
That's
And what kind of video, or what kind of, I guess 2 questions. What kind of cameras do you use? And do you edit it on Mac? Like
I do.
Like Final Cut Pro or PC? Because they end up very well. You know.
No PCs. I have I have a Nikon that I film on, and I have a Mac because I worked for Apple for a really long time.
Okay.
You worked for
They
Apple?
turn out very well.
I did.
Really? What did you do?
I taught old women how to use their computer.
Nice.
How to
Yeah.
Like, did you work over the phone, or did you work in the store?
No, I was in the store.
Oh, really? So you got to wear the outfit.
I did. I got to wear the blue shirt with the apple on it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a good time.
They actually treat their employees pretty well.
Wait, I guess this makes you a genius.
That
I
does-
was.
Yeah?
I was. Technically, yes. Well, technically, no. Technically, I was a trainer. But I did work at the Genius Bar.
Woo!
So, I know, guys. You're welcome. You're in the presence of a genius.
There was no liquor. Genius without the liquor. The Genius Bar without the liquor.
Right.
Yeah, it would have been much better if there was liquor.
If you weren't acting, if it all fell apart, which it's not going to, but if it all fell apart, what would you do? What would
Oh,
you do?
God.
I asked that on that Inside the Actor Studio, and I'm not saying I stole the question, but maybe I did.
Yeah. Well, I have a business degree, so probably something in that. I mean, I'd probably be a teacher because my entire family is in education.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Or something artistic, I think.
I don't do anything else artistic except for
Oh.
perform. I am
Okay.
the best stick figure drawer in the history of life. But other than that, you don't want to see my art. I promise you.
All right.
It's brutal.
So anybody have any more questions? So the web series that Eric wanted to know more about your web series, but she's in a web series, Stare at Shannon. And are you in any other web series?
Just the one that Mike and I are doing,
The
which
Mad
is
Scientist one.
which is called Future Women of Science. But other than that, no.
Cool.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you have any advice for people with disabilities who want to do theater?
Just do it. Find people that you like performing with and that make you happy and perform with them. Theater is an interesting one because sometimes it's out of your control, and there's a lot of theaters that are inaccessible, but find something that is and just try it. If you want to act, and you can't find anywhere to do it, make your own stuff.
Cool. Yeah.
Just do it.
That's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, totes.
Cool. Well, does anybody else have any last final questions? For Laura, do you have anything to ask?
I do. I was wondering, do you tour like anywhere else around the East Coast, or is it strictly just Philly?
I perform in New York a lot. But other than that, no, I'm coming to, hopefully I'm coming to Chicago in June.
Okay.
Abilities Expo?
Where do you live?
I just moved to the DC area.
Oh, okay. Well, I want to start performing outside of Philly more. I know my improv group, we're going to start to try to go different places. So hopefully I will come down. I know I am performing. Oh, that's not true. I am performing in DC in July. I'm opening for Josh Blue. So at the Kennedy Center. So come see me at the Kennedy Center.
And so you do stand up pretty regularly?
No. I should do it way more, but I am lazy.
So you're going to prepare something for the Josh Blue show then, or is it a piece that you've done for a while?
Yeah, I mean it'll probably be stuff that I've written already, but because I don't do it that often, so it's not like everyone knows it. But yeah. I don't know how long I have to do.
More gigs?
Do I what?
Do you want more gigs? Do you want more gigs?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Would you come
Anytime.
to New York?
Yeah, whatever. Is it pay? If you pay me, I will show up.
I play. You pay, I play.
That's very true,
I want to
actually.
see
Insane.
Gotham Comedy Hour one night. They should have room for you.
The what?
The Gotham Comedy Hour. I don't know. It's on Access Network. You know,
Oh, okay.
Art Cuban. I don't know if you know about that. Anyways.
No, I'm sorry.
What is bringing you to Chicago in June?
What's bringing you to Chicago?
I'm trying to go out to see the Cubs.
Yeah.
And
What dates?
I'm just
I'll
gonna
be
try
there.
to find. Are you?
Yeah.
Oh God, when is it? The
I'm
third
going
week
to the
of June?
Okay, I'm going to the Abilities Expo, which is
Oh, when is that?
June 11th through 14th.
I think it's after that. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Bummer. That would have been cool.
Yeah,
Well, that's good.
Are you gonna see the Cubs when you're there?
absolutely.
Heck yeah!
This is the year. It's going to happen, baby.
Oh, dreams, dude.
Yeah.
Go Sox. Not White Sox. Red Sox.
Oh, that's so sad.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. This was super fun.
Yeah, it was really neat. And I don't know. I will take away some things. I think
Yeah, you rock, Shannon.
Thanks, guys. You guys all rock.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you for supporting me and watching my weird stuff I do.
I think we're all just as weird as you are. So
Great. Bring it on.
there you go.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right.
All right.
I'll see you later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.